Hello and welcome to Quiz Class. I'm your host, Ellen, and today we have 100 questions on general knowledge. Let's take a look at our Quiz Class awards. And here they are. Let us know how you rank in the comments at the end, along with the answer to the bonus question. NASA's Space Shuttle program lasted for 30 years and flew how many missions? 135, 150, or 165? "135. In 1997, the first known space funeral occurred. Whose funeral was it? Buzz Aldrin, Carl Sagan, or Gene Roddenberry? Gene Roddenberry. Mount Everest's peak lies approximately how many feet above sea level? Over 31,000, over 39,000, or over 29,000? A little over 29,000. The longest tennis match was played at Wimbledon in 2010. How long did it last? 9 hours, 11 hours, or 13 hours? 11 hours. Since what year has Yankee Doodle been the official state song of Connecticut? 1976, 1974, or 1978? 1978. Which famous painter allegedly only took short naps throughout the day? Leonardo da Vinci, Andy Warhol, or Salvador Dali? Leonardo da Vinci. What word did Congressman Maury Maverick coin in 1944? Blatherskite, gobbledygook, or flibberflop? Gobbledygook. In The Shawshank Redemption, Andy Dufresne plays what opera on the prison loudspeakers? The Marriage of Figaro, La Traviata, or Rigoletto? The Marriage of Figaro. After whom did Ian Fleming name his fictional character James Bond? A detective, a Navy admiral, or an ornithologist? An ornithologist. What was Carol Brady's maiden name in the TV series The Brady Bunch? Frank, Smith, or Tyler? Tyler. What is the only planet in the solar system that is less dense than water? Saturn, Venus, or Mars? Saturn. In the 1920s, the con man Charles Ponzi duped investors in a fraudulent scheme involving what? Oil wells, postage stamps, or railroad stocks? Postage stamps. In the 1890s, heroin was introduced commercially to the U.S. by Bayer as a remedy for what? Indigestion, hysteria, or coughs? Coughs. The earliest copyrighted movie was produced by Thomas Edison and shows a man doing what? Running, sneezing, or laughing? Sneezing. What precursor to SOS did the Titanic use when it first signaled on its radio for help? Help, pan, or CQD? CQD. Japan has the world's most vending machines per capita. How many does it have? Over 8 million, over 2 million, or over 5 million? Over 5 million. What number album was A Night at the Opera in Queen's discography? 6th, 3rd, or 4th? 4th. What is Hello Kitty's full name according to the Japanese toy company Sanrio? Kitty White, Kitty Black, or Kitty Pink? Kitty White. Which gangster was shot outside Chicago's Biograph Theater in 1934? Frank Nitti, Al Capone, or John Dillinger? John Dillinger. Which great thinker died from stuffing snow into a chicken? Galileo Galilei, René Descartes, or Francis Bacon? Francis Bacon. What was the Beatles' 1965 song Yesterday originally named? Just Another Day, Scrambled Eggs, or Morning Song? Scrambled eggs. The dime is the thinnest U.S. coin. What is its thickness? 1.35 millimeters, 1.25 millimeters, or 1.45 millimeters? 1.35 millimeters. In what U.S. state is the house from the 1903 painting American Gothic? Iowa, Texas, or Ohio? Iowa. Which 80s movie was inspired by the life of Maureen Martyr? Dirty Dancing, Fame, or Flashdance? Flashdance. Which of these rodents are known for collecting shiny objects to protect their nests? Pack rats, field mice, or chipmunks? Pack rats. What is the real name of the comedian who is popularly known as Larry the Cable Guy? Jeff Dunham, Bill Engvall, or Daniel Whitney? Daniel Whitney. Which women's magazine began in the 1930s as a menu sheet handed out at A&P supermarkets? Women's Day, Good Housekeeping, or Ladies' Home Journal? Women's Day. Which rabbi is considered to have invented speed dating? Jonathan Sacks, Yaakov Deyo, or Shmuley Botic, Botich. Yakov Deyo. The story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer was created in 1939 as a Christmas promotion for a what? Candy company, gas station, or department store? Department store. What group of people did Spiro Agnew describe as nattering nambobs of negativism? Protesters, the media, or college students? The media. Which celebrity appeared on the very first cover of People magazine in 1974? Mia Farrow, Elizabeth Taylor, or Robert Redford? Mia Farrow. Which actress was discovered at a Canadian football game when her image appeared on the Jumbotron? Rachel McAdams, Elisha Cuthbert, or Pamela Anderson? Pamela Anderson. Who inspired the Maxwell House slogan, "Good to the last drop"? Henry Ford, Andrew Carnegie, or Theodore Roosevelt? Theodore Roosevelt. Which NFL player shouted, "I'm going to Disneyland" in a 1987 Disney commercial? John Elway, Joe Montana, or Phil Simms? Phil Simms. In 2009, Joey Chestnut set a new world record when he consumed how many hot dogs in 10 minutes? 83, 74, or 91? 83. In the 1942 movie Bambi, what is Bambi's first word? Flower, mama, or bird? Bird. Which Hemingway work was first published in Life magazine and sold over 5 million copies in 2 days? The Old Man and the Sea, For Whom the Bell Tolls, or The Sun Also Rises? The Old Man and the Sea. The famous pediatrician and author, Dr. Benjamin Spock, won an Olympic gold medal in what sport? Fencing, rowing, or swimming? Rowing. Which NFL quarterback once revealed that he did not know games could end in ties? Eli Manning, Jay Cutler, or Donovan McNabb? Donovan McNabb. Richard Nixon helped finance his first congressional campaign in 1946 with money he made doing what? Teaching law, selling cars, or playing poker? Playing poker. The Three Musketeers candy bar was introduced in 1932 and had 3 pieces: chocolate, vanilla, and what? Strawberry, caramel, or nougat? Strawberry. Who became the first celebrity to make a guest appearance on Sesame Street in 1969? George Carlin, Jim Henson, or James Earl Jones? James Earl Jones. What nickname was Jane Fonda given in 1972 after being photographed seated on an anti-aircraft gun? Agent Jane, Hanoi Jane, or Red Jane? Hanoi Jane. Which TV series was the first one-hour drama ever produced by HBO? The Sopranos, Oz, or The Wire? Oz. Prince Charles and Princess Diana officially divorced in 1996 after how many years of marriage? 10, 20, or 15? 15. Hawaiian Punch was originally created in 1950. What is the name of that original red flavor today? Rosy, tropical cherry, or island berry? Rosy. Who originally choreographed the Electric Slide in 1976? Rick Silver, Marcia Griffiths, or Paula Abdul? Rick Silver. Red Stripe beer was first introduced in 1928 and was brewed in what country? Barbados, Trinidad, or Jamaica? Jamaica. Which 1960s candy used the slogan, "First it's candy, then it's gum"? Zots, Pop Rocks, or Razzles? Razzles. Croquis were introduced in 1977 to prevent people from losing what fashion accessory? Glasses, watches, or earrings? Glasses. In what year was the kitchen appliances brand Viking introduced? 1976, 1967, or 1987? 1987. NAFTA was signed in 1992 and is a trade agreement between the US, Mexico, and which other country? Canada, England, or Chile? Canada. Which painter's art movement inspired the name of Kellogg's Pop-Tarts? Andy Warhol, Roy Lichtenstein, or Jackson Pollock? Andy Warhol. Meryl Streep made her film debut in 1977 in which Oscar-nominated film? The Deer Hunter, Julia, or Manhattan? Julia. Which pro sport is the only one with an antitrust exemption thanks to a 1922 Supreme Court ruling? NBA, NFL, or MLB? MLB. How many cherry trees did Tokyo donate to the US in 1909 as a token of goodwill? 3,000, 1,000, or 2,000? 2,000. Where did the very first Walmart store open in 1962? Tulsa, Oklahoma, Rogers, Arkansas, or Wichita, Kansas? Rogers, Arkansas. What name did Harry Burke give to his ice cream on a stick invention in 1920? Good Humor, Frost Pop, or Creamsicle? Good Humor. In what year did the Broadway musical Camelot debut? 1957, 1963, or 1960? 1960. The writer Eugene Fodor was a pioneer of which book genre? Tourist guidebooks, self-help books, or cookbooks? Tourist guidebooks. Which member of The Who owns a trout fishery in East Sussex, England? Pete Townsend, Roger Daltrey, or Keith Moon? Roger Daltrey. The peace symbol was first designed in 1958 and is a circle divided into how many pieces? 4, 3, or 5? 4. Candle in the Wind was originally a tribute to which actress? Gene Kelly, Marilyn Monroe, or Audrey Hepburn? Marilyn Monroe. Who was David Letterman's first guest on NBC in 1982 and again on CBS in 1993? Steve Martin, Robin Williams, or Bill Murray? Bill Murray. What candy brand was created by Bill and Dorothy Harmson in 1949? Jolly Rancher, Lifesavers, or Werther's Original? Jolly Rancher. Which singer once went by the name Mr. Mojo Rison? Steven Tyler, Mick Jagger, or Jim Morrison? Jim Morrison. Which Broadway musical is based on the 1960 film The Apartment? Promises, Promises, Sweet Charity, or Company? Promises, Promises. How much was a college student paid to create Nike's logo in 1971? $50, $35, or $15? $35. Which columnist once received 15,000 letters after giving an opinion on how toilet paper should hang? Irma Bombeck, Miss Manners, or Ann Landers? Ann Landers. What company's name was inspired by the classic novel Moby Dick? Levi's, Amazon, or Starbucks? Starbucks. Which natural food brand was founded in 1984 and uses the slogan, 7 whole grains on a mission? Kashi, Nature Valley, or Kind? Kashi. What country has the oldest written constitution that is still in use today? Andorra, Liechtenstein, or San Marino? San Marino. Land's End was a mansion in Long Island and is said to have inspired a fancy home in what classic novel? The Great Gatsby, Little Women, or Ethan Frome? The Great Gatsby. Which country's current system of government was established in 1958? Ghana, France, or Germany? France. In 1902, 9 motor clubs merged to form an organization that is now known by what name? AMA, AARP, or AAA? AAA. Which famous musician was known for his love of peanut butter and banana sandwiches? Johnny Cash, Elvis Presley, or Jerry Lee Lewis? Elvis Presley. Which musician played Jareth, the Goblin King, in Jim Henson's 1986 film Labyrinth? Michael Jackson, George Michael, or David Bowie? David Bowie. Which of these animals moves around using a technique known as knuckle walking? Chimpanzees, tigers, or cats? Chimpanzees. The late Senator Ted Stevens referred to what technology as a series of tubes? The internet, cable networks, or fax machines? The internet. William L. Murphy invented an easy-to-store version of what piece of furniture? Bed, dining table, or closet? Bed. What major artery is used to check a person's blood pressure? Carotid, brachial, or radial? Brachial. Which anthropologist wrote Coming of Age in Samoa in 1928? Margaret Mead, Ruth Benedict, or Franz Boas? Margaret Mead. In the children's book, The Little Engine That Could, what is the engine trying to deliver? Clothes, toys, or comics? Toys. In the 1973 novel, The Princess Bride, who is Inigo Montoya looking for? A murderer, a thief, or a princess? A murderer. The Wacky Wall Walker was a popular toy introduced in the 1980s and came in the shape of what animal? Spider, snail, or octopus? Octopus. The College World Series has been played annually in which Midwestern city since 1950? Kansas City, Des Moines, or Omaha? Omaha. In 1966, a black and white masked ball was hosted at New York's Plaza Hotel by which author? Gore Vidal, Truman Capote, or Norman Mailer? Truman Capote. The first Legoland theme park opened in 1968 in what country? Denmark, the Netherlands, or England? Denmark. Strawberry Field was a favorite childhood hangout of John Lennon's. What type of establishment was it? A farm, a garden nursery, or an orphanage? An orphanage. What was the first flavor of Lifesavers candy when it was introduced in 1912? Peppermint, cherry, or watermelon? Peppermint. What age was Rosa Parks when she refused to give her seat up on the bus in 1955? 47, 49, or 42? 42. In 1935, the first character licensed lunchbox was introduced and featured which of these characters? Donald Duck, Snoopy, or Mickey Mouse? Mickey Mouse. Which famous family was the first to have 3 generations of Oscar winners? The Hustons, the Fondas, or the Coppolas? The Hustons. What fictional character's rights were gifted to a London children's hospital in 1929? Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan, or Paddington Bear? Peter Pan. Which U.S. president allowed his daughter to use the White House for her high school senior prom? Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, or Richard Nixon? Gerald Ford. Opus Dei is a Roman Catholic organization and was founded in 1928 in what country? Italy, Greece, or Spain? Spain. What product did Earl Dixon invent in the 1920s due to his wife's clumsy mishaps? Ice pack, Band-Aid, or oven mitt? Band-Aid. When the Mona Lisa was stolen in 1911, which famous artist was considered a possible suspect? Henri Matisse, Georges Braque, or Pablo Picasso? Pablo Picasso. Who became the first professional baseball player to be featured on a U.S. postal stamp in 1982? Jackie Robinson, Babe Ruth, or Ty Cobb? Jackie Robinson. The CDC was founded in 1946 and initially focused on controlling what disease? Smallpox, polio, or malaria? Malaria. And our bonus question, the first member of the British royal family to compete in the Olympics was who? Let us know the answer in the comments. And of course, how well you did with our Quiz Class Einstein rewards. Thanks for playing, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.